Hey Flosstube, it's Kim the 303 Stitcher. Today is February 2nd, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 5. As promised, I made it, y'all. I committed to coming back here in a month since my last video, and I did it. Quite proud of myself. If you hear any background noise, I apologize. My wife is working from home. I am off on Fridays. I work 4/10s, and so she's on meetings. Also, my cat is trying to destroy my paper printouts of the patterns I'm working on, so might be some background noise today. If I look down a lot, got stats, y'all. I'm trying to get better at this. So for the month of January, I worked on a total of 6 projects. I had 2 finishes and I had 1 new start. So I'm gonna get into it and show y'all what I've been working on. And we will just start with, this was my focus piece. In January, it's one of my full coverages, and I actually, I didn't work on this at all last year in 2023. So I actually think that I'm really getting into it again. It's kind of like falling back in love with your whips, which is awesome. And this piece is for my mother-in-law, and I got so much in last month that I think I'm going to continue it in this month for February. So you'll probably see it again when I get around to recording in March, which my March video will be late, and I'll explain that later. So the first piece that I worked on is a Heaven and Earth Designs. It is Treasures of the Sea by Oleg Gavrilov, I think is his name. This is what it's gonna look like when it is done. And I'm just gonna put that back. And I actually did a 1.5 pages, y'all. I will try and edit this. I'm actually on my own cell phone. I was using an old cell phone to record last month, and I came down to record today and realized it was dead. And I just kind of wanted to record and get this kind of out of the way for the day so I can get to stitching. But when you saw this last time, it was literally just in here. Like this part was filled in. So I did all of this. I worked on this for a total of 19 days in January, and I got 8,226 stitches. That is being stitched on 25 count easy guide lugana, and it is being stitched 1/1 full cross. And I'm just working in, oh, also I am working in my park threads. If you remember seeing this from last month, there were parked threads everywhere. So I'm going page by page and working those in. So but yeah, I'm really loving it. It's a lot of blue, but I don't hate it because I actually can get a lot of stitching done because it's just kind of color blocks. So sorry about the bags. Next on my pile, again, these are in no particular order. So, next on my pile is a finish. This was the holiday countdown sal from Modern Folk Embroidery, Evertotes, and, Roxy Floss Co. And so, the premise around this one was that it was the 25 days of Christmas. So we started on December 1st, and the idea was to be done with it by Christmas. It was a little late. I actually I stitched on this for the first 3 days of January to get this finish. And so I was only off by like a week or so. So yeah, so I worked on this for 3 days. And I did a total of 1,263 stitches for a finish. So this is stitched with Roxy Floss Co. She did her own colors for this, just for this pattern. Obviously Jacob created this from Modern Folk Embroidery. It was my first time stitching on 40 count linen. This is actually called Turtle Dove, also by Roxy Floss Co. And I fell in love with 40 count linen, stitching 1/1 full cross. I had to have a magnifier, but I just love how this turned out and how this looks. So, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, if I'm gonna fully finish it or if it's just gonna go into my box of things that are finished that I don't know what to do with. I feel like a lot of us have those. I definitely have a lot of them. So I worked on, yeah, like I said, I worked on that for 3 days, and got that finished. As I was pawing through my stuff, I realized that 2023 was a mess for me for recording. I don't know if I ever showed you all this finish. So this is not a finish, and this isn't a finish from 2024. And it isn't anything that I've worked on this year. However, it was a finish from last year. I just don't know if I can't remember if I showed it to y'all or not. So I did want to show it as I was bringing stuff downstairs to put into my stitchy space, and just kind of clean up my area upstairs. So this one actually is Autumn Band Sampler. This is by Tiny Modernist. And this is on, I want to say it was Bronze Age by BeStitchMe. Y'all have been here for a minute. You know, I love Tiny Modernist. Her designs are amazing and really fun to stitch. That was no exception. That one was probably one of my favorite finishes from last year. So just wanted to show that one. Next on my pile is my other finish for 2024 so far. So the other finish that I had in January. This is by Cotton and Twine. I believe this was the July 2023 box, subscription box. They're also known as historical samplers. But I subscribe to their monthly box. They're really cute smalls, and most of the time. They come with all of the things that you need to finish it, and the pattern and little goodies and stuff. So it comes from the UK, and I really like it. So I haven't fully finished this one yet. I'm terrible at fully finishing things, as I said. So I spent, let's see, 4 days on this. This actually was my whip go call this month for January. Sorry, my hair is driving me nuts, y'all. I need a haircut. So my whip go numbers was, both boxes actually ended up being working on what I call this one as beach, and you'll see why. So to spend one weekend, and my weekends again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, working on beach. And then the other weekend for the other number was to work on any cotton and twine project that I have, whether that was one that was going or one that I wanted to start, because I do have several that I am very behind on. So this is beach, and it says ocean waves and sunny days. And I am a beach baby. I am a Pisces. I love anything that has to do with the water. And so I actually started this when we went on vacation in, I want to say we went in September. We went to the Oregon coast, which is retirement goals for me. And yeah, so this has a lot of really cool like memories and stuff to it, but I will end up fully finishing this because it's little and it's cute, and yeah. So I did a total of 2,197 stitches. This is, I think, on a 16 count aida. The only thing that drives me nuts is that they don't, there's my back. The only thing that drives me nuts is that they don't serge their fabric all the way. You can see that they did on this side. I feel like that they just take big pieces of fabric, and maybe just cut like their sizes out of it and then just put it in the box. So I really wish that they would serge all the way. I don't have a serger, but we'll figure that out. So yeah, that was my second finish for the month. And then let's see, I will show you. This one is gonna be Honeymoon Sunset by the Cross Stitch Studio. I keep forgetting to write down the artist name. I think it's Abraham Hunter. I think, maybe. It's on the second page of the pattern, and I only have the first page of the pattern printed off. But this is Honeymoon Sunset. A lot of floss tubers are working on this right now. I know Alara is, Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. So I know some of y'all watch them, so probably have seen this already, but this is Honeymoon Sunset. I am doing this. I'm doing this one. Let's see if I can get it better. On 32 count, Easy Guide Lugana. This is done 2/1/10 stitch. I will insert a picture, like I said, if I can edit, depending on if my phone will let me because of storage space. But last time that y'all saw it, it was just kind of in here. I think that was done. So and some of the green leaves, all of this brown is pretty much new this month. And some of this like orangish color here as we start getting into the sunset, which is kind of through here. So that is Honeymoon Sunset. Let's stick it back in its project bag. And then for Honeymoon Sunset, I did 2 days, and it was 645 stitches. Again, 2/1/10 stitch on 32 count. This is the cute project bag. This is a Garan toten bag. It was one of my first bag of the months from them, so I thought that one was cute. The next project that I worked on was the Enchanted Quaker, and this is by Luminous Fiber Arts, and it is designed by Misty Pursel, and that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I am doing this on, I think it's, oh, I left the tag on here. It is Boneyard. It is a 28 count lugana, and it is by BeStitchMe, and their Fabric of the Month Club. The last time I believe that y'all saw it, I think I had Nevermore done, and all of this I'm pretty sure was done. Maybe some of the bird. So I actually finished this whole motif here this month. I am doing this 2/2 full cross, and I am actually using it's hand dyed by Rolanda. This is just her cotton floss, and it is Creep It Real. I have most of it on a Pip and Chip thread drop, so this is just kind of extra that I left hanging, so you can kind of see that variegation in there. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And then I pull this out every once in a while if I just need something mindless to stitch on, where I'm not constantly having to change colors and stuff. This is in another Garan bag. For people who get the Garan toten bags, you probably won't recognize this one because I actually flipped this one inside out. This was our Halloween bag this year. And this is the fabric that actually was on the outside. It was kind of like a vintagey fabric. Wasn't really my jam. And then when I saw the inside fabric, I was like, ooh, I really like that. So I just flipped it inside out. And then and I have Velcro, so I'll probably put a piece of Velcro on here. But yeah, I thought this one was more my style, so I just flipped it around. And the last project that I worked on was a new start. This is where I said my cat was trying to eat it, and you can see she has managed to nibble the corner. This is Saga by Long Dog Sampler. And I'm sure people have also seen this. I'm literally up in the first corner, like in here. This is huge, y'all. I don't know if you can see the dimensions on that. I say huge, like I'm not a full coverage stitcher. But for a sampler, this is really big. And so this year I'm really trying to, as much as possible, on my smaller starts that don't need like the full coverage fabrics and stuff, the easy guide, I'm trying to stitch from stash. And so here's my start on this. I did not have a piece of fabric, even a half yard. It was not big enough for this to do this over to. So this is going to be on Lunar. This is 28 count lugana by BeStitchMe. And I am doing this 1/1 full cross. And that is how far I've gotten. So yeah, I don't know if you can, yeah, I guess that light's doing it okay. My needle minder says it's weird being the same age as old people. I have a big birthday coming up next month, and so, yeah. I ended up getting that one from Rocky Mountain Needle Minders, I think. I am stitching this actually with a Silks4u silk. It is 1/1 full cross. I think I said that. I'm not hating it. But this is the color. This is PR207. I think this is like her newest one that she just came out with. It is heavenly to work with. It is so pretty. It's one of my absolute favorite colors. Blue, obviously blue. But this shade of blue is just gorgeous. I actually ordered 2 hanks for this because I wasn't sure. I'm sure that this will be enough, but just in case. So yeah, so that's what I'm working with. That is it for my new starts and what I have worked on in the month of January. I spent 1 day on that. Let me get my pad back up here. I spent 1 day on that and did 257 stitches for that first start. Also, I forgot to mention, I spent 1 day on Enchanted Quaker. That was 403 stitches. So total for the month of January, I did 12,991 stitches. Not too shabby for January, if I do say so myself. Plans for February. I am, for my Whip Go, the Cross Stitch Studio, one of my Cross Stitch Studio patterns was called for. Given that I did work for 2 days on Honeymoon Sunset in January, I actually think I'm gonna be distracted here a little bit and put stuff away so that the cat doesn't get into stuff. I think I'm gonna work on my sea turtle project with them instead of Honeymoon Sunset. As much as I wanna get that page finished. Sorry, that's habit. I didn't mean to zip that in your ear. So yeah, so I will probably work on Sea Turtle. Again, it's only for 1 weekend. I'm doing Whip Go for the projects that are called only for 1 weekend. That way the other 2 weekends I can stitch what I want. So if I want to keep going on my focus piece, I can do that, or I can change it up, or it just gives me a little bit of freedom. And I'm gonna have to zip another bag, y'all. I am so sorry, but Tori has decided that these are really fun and that she should definitely play with them. What else am I gonna do? Oh, the other square that was called for Whip Go this month is a new start. I get the privilege to go to Europe at the end of the month, so we actually fly on the 29th of this month, and we will be gone for about a week and a half. It is a long flight. We go from Denver, Colorado to Heathrow. We have a 4-hour layover in Heathrow, and then we actually have another 4-hour flight after that to Venice. our flight from Denver to Heathrow is overnight. So I'm hoping to get some sleep, because I know that with the time change and everything, it's going to be right around 5:30 p.m. when we actually land in Venice. So it's going to be a really long travel day. However, I am planning on bringing some stitching with me, because we are going to be then going on a train kind of throughout Italy, and then we end our trip in Athens. So for that new start, I think I'm going to do this. And sorry, that glare. There we go. This is Santa House. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the first one from their Fabulous Houses series. I am going to bring the second one, which is the castle as well. I left that upstairs because I already have it kind of tucked away. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to finish this one on our trip. Yeah, so I'm going to bring this one, and I think I'm actually going to bring Saga with me as well. As a kind of like not really having to think about it stitch if I want to stitch on the plane. So yeah, so this one's all kitted up and ready to go. So I will be packing this one away after this video, so that way it's ready to go. And I will be doing this on the called for fabric, which is, I believe, Fox and Rabbit. The name of the prehistoric and 40 count. So I do have 40 count prehistoric. I'll cut serge ready to go for that. So that will be my new start for my Whip Go call. I will probably have another new start this month as well. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we feel. As I mentioned in my last video, I do have fabric for 2 supersize max colors. Y'all helped me decide. I actually decided to go with the Amy Stewart, the supersized US Traveler bookshelf, and also the Amazing Animal Kingdom. I'm still deciding on which one of the libraries I'm going to start, whether it's going to be Snape's library or Trelawney's library from the Cross Stitch Studio, but I did get fabric for that as well. With the extra fabric, I actually realized I have enough to do a couple other smaller starts, smaller full coverage starts. And so I think my friend Kristen and I are actually going to start Waterhole Master by David Penbound from Heaven and Earth Designs. We've both had that for a while and wanted to start it. So I think we're going to start that when we go to Stitch North this year. And that is it for stitchy stuff. Actually, I do have one more thing, but if you're just here for that and don't want to see haul or anything like that, I totally get it. And I will say goodbye to you all now. If you don't want to see the haul, it's not a lot. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me for 23 minutes. I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you on my next floss tube, which will probably be mid-March when I get back from my trip and recover. For those of you who don't mind seeing haul or want to kind of see what I've been up to, there's a lot. I do have a lot of haul, but I just want to show this one thing, because I actually, as I was getting ready to stitch, FedEx showed up at my door and brought me this. So this is actually, I had ordered a Gecko Rouge kit. It's my first one. Because some of my friends are stitching the Bee by, I think it's Lorna Lane. And so this came in, so I kind of wanted to unbox it with you all. So this is what it looks like. It's a really cute little charm. Tissue paper. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So this is, so I actually have this as a PDF, but I do appreciate that they actually did a printout. So this is actually what it's going to look like when it's done. I know there's a few floss tubers doing this one as well, including an Aussie and a Kiwi World, which is my friend Judy. And so when you open it, this is kind of what it looks like. And I had them kit this obviously for me. I did it on, this looks like 32 count. And they didn't serge it either, but that's okay. So I did it on, I believe, 32 count easy guide. I plan on stitching this probably 1/1 full cross, or maybe 1/1 tent. And then they did all of the floss for me, so that's what this is. So yeah, and it's a nice little neat book, and there's some John James needles in there. So I will probably start this month, if not today. Those colors are just gorgeous and they called to me, and so yeah, I might start that today. I just wanted to show y'all kind of what this came with. I didn't get any of the extra things they offer, like a needle minder that you can pay extra for and stuff, and the kit is already expensive enough, so I didn't need the needle minder. I have dozens, so I said no thank you. That is it for the haul. I mean, like I said, I have a ton. I'm part of like a two fabric of the month clubs. I get the Roxy Floss Co every month, both the neutrals and the colors. I get Silks4u every month. So I just won't bore you all with showing you all that, but I thought it was kind of cool that this came right as I was going to record today. I already gave you all my life updates. The trip's coming up. I'm super excited about that. We're both working a ton before then to try to get that going. And our son qualified, I think I said this last month maybe. Our son qualified for the Junior Olympics for fencing. He's been fencing for I think 3 years now, maybe more than that. And is finally really getting into competitive fencing. When he first expressed interest in fencing, he said, I want to go fence at the Olympics. Well, here we are for Junior Olympics, and that's in Charlotte, North Carolina over President's Day weekend here in the US. So like Valentine's Day weekend. So 2 weeks before our trip. So he's really excited about that, and I think he's getting nervous, but my wife will be taking him to Charlotte for that weekend, and I will be here stitching and wrangling our zoo. We have 3 dogs and a cat, and potentially might be dog sitting for our kids' birth mom, bio mom, I guess, if she ends up going to watch this as well. So it will be a complete zoo. Hopefully I will get some stitching done. Other than that, work is work. I can't really talk too much about work, and I wouldn't want to bore you all with the details anyways. It's been really warm here in Denver this week. It's been like in the 60s, and all of the trees are starting to bud. They have a shock coming in because we have a snowstorm coming in this weekend. So poor little trees. Other than that, that's it. I'm just rambling at this point. So thanks for being here. We're about 30 minutes in. I might try at some point to do a stitch with me if that's something that anybody would be interested in watching. So I know some people like it. If that's you, let me know. I won't do it if there's really no interest, but I would love to know if you all are interested in me trying to figure out my setup and doing a stitch with me on any of my projects. So again, thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me now for almost 30 minutes. If you're still here, If you're a returning viewer, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are new here and liked the projects that you saw, my video, feel free to like and subscribe. I will try to be back again in mid-March, or maybe I'll try to record before we go. We'll see how that goes. Until then, I hope that you all stay safe, happy stitching, and we will talk to you later.